Let's make these festive and delicious molded zefir flowers. Before we even start, we have 7 silicone molds here. They have to be deep and soft and have cuts on the sides, so it's easy to open them. Otherwise, we'd break the flowers when removing them from the molds. We're also using the wooden board to transfer the molds in and out of the freezer. For the mixing bowl, we have applesauce. We're using homemade from Granny Smith apples and highly recommend using the same one. Sugar and albumin. You can also use egg whites instead. Let's mix our applesauce, sugar, and albumin together. To combine them, we're using a hand blender with the whisk attachment, but you can also use a hand mixer. We don't recommend using a stand mixer to avoid over whipping, as the mixture is supposed to be fluffy yet liquid. Mix it all by hand first to avoid splashing. You can add vanilla at this stage as well. Turn the blender on and combine to remove the lumps of albumin, or just combine if using egg whites. Set aside. Now let's prep our syrup. We're using unfiltered apple juice, sugar, and agar-agar mixed with pectin. If you don't have pectin, use agar-agar only, in the total amount of agar-agar and pectin combined. Combine the juice and agar-agar pectin mix in the saucepan and mix to remove any lumps. Add sugar and combine together. Place on the stovetop over medium heat. At the same time, start your oven. Our lowest setting is 170 degrees Fahrenheit, which is perfect to keep the leftovers of our mixture warm and liquid before we have to use it again. Now we are just waiting for the syrup to start boiling. Mix it once in a while to make sure it doesn't burn. Especially work the sides and bottom of your saucepan. Now it started boiling. Let's set the timer for 5 minutes. Normally, it's between 4 and 6 minutes before the syrup is done. It depends on the amount of pectin and external factors before it reaches the right temperature and consistency. With pectin, the syrup gets done faster. 4 minutes are usually enough. Right now, we have very little pectin in it. Let's mix it again as it thickens quickly. Let's move to the mixing bowl now. Start whipping it with the same hand blender or your hand mixer until it increases in volume almost twice, becomes lighter in color, and leaves visible traces. It takes about 2 minutes. Let's get back to our syrup now. It's looking darker and rather thick. It has a glossy surface like liquid hot glass, and the thread, once you lift your spatula, drips uninterrupted and thick. That tells us it's almost ready. Let's give a bit more whip to our applesauce and egg whites mixture. We have clear traces now, yet it remains liquid. Now, back to the syrup. It's really dark and quite dense at this point, with a thick, consistent thread. Although we have about 20 seconds remaining, we're turning it off, it's ready. As we're not using the stand mixer and don't have enough hands to handle everything at once, we'll just pour our syrup in first before using the whisk again to combine our syrup with the applesauce mix. Make sure to use all the syrup you can get out of your saucepan without scraping the lumps from the sides. The mixture should have an even temperature and become homogeneous. Scrape the mixture away from the sides to prevent premature setting and prep your piping bag. Stretch over a tall glass. Pour the mixture into your piping bag. We're using a 16-inch piping bag and filling it 2/3 full that's comfortable to handle. Cover the remaining mixture tightly with tin foil and place it into the preheated oven. Turn off the oven. It will likely stay warm enough to keep the mixture usable. Now let's get our molds out, tighten up the piping bag and cut the tip off, probably about 1/2 inch max. Now we open each mold as wide as possible and start pouring the mixture in, ensuring we pour it into every nook and cranny. What we love doing is pouring the mixture into the center while holding the sides of the mold apart, and then working each side separately. Once the mold is closed, you can see if there is still room for more mixture or if it's filled up. This one is done. Let's move to another one. We are doing the same thing, working from the center, taking our time and making sure we thoroughly fill the corners of the central part of our mold, as that will be the face of our flower, and then moving to the sides. This mold is softer and easier to work with. You can tell how it still had room for more mixture, so we managed to work thoroughly through all three sides of it. Don't worry about the excess sticking out of your molds. It's easy to remove once it's set. We fill the rest of our molds. The large one is quite tough and requires more time and effort. We had enough mixture to fill 6 of our molds. To fill the last one, simply remove your mixture from the oven and fill the piping bag enough for one mold. You can squeeze the leftovers in your piping bag back into your mixing bowl. Now, let's take them to the freezer for the next 20 minutes. Bring them back from the freezer and first open them up gently to uncover the sides, so you don't break the side petals. From there, you can gently open it as wide as possible. Oops, our flower just fell off the mold, which is perfectly fine. It's resilient enough. Here's our beautiful and detailed peony. Don't worry if some petals break. With an intricate pattern, you'll never notice, and it will still look nice. If you have any excess like we do here, cut it with a knife. Overall, it's important to remove any excess right away as it's easy at this stage. Once the flowers are set next day, they become sticky and dense, and you risk ruining them by trying to cut anything off later. As with the first one, we gently open up the mold on each side before removing the flower. If you don't have enough hands to keep the mold open and remove the flower, just release it into the surface like we are doing now. We had a little piece stuck from the mold, so we just removed it. Same here. Now, we recommend coloring it right away, as it takes food coloring better once it's out of the mold and still wet. We're using bouquetable sunset orange to dust this beautiful Austin rose and adding some neon red to it. Using the same color, we're dusting our rose. Once all the flowers are removed, let's refill the molds. The mixture kept in the oven remained liquid and didn't deflate too much. It was enough to fill up another 5 molds. Put them in the freezer again and repeat the process. Enjoy, happy whipping, and please let us know if you have any questions or comments.